Shalom. Okay, so I have a problem. We just got a scripture, different scripture books instead of King James. I myself have the Cepher, and my daughter, she wanted a large print of scripture of her own pick, which was the scriptures. So she have the large print of the scriptures, and me myself have the Cepher. So there has been a slight bit of a difference here with reading. Now, I want to go to a particular scripture. I'm not covering it all, but for now, because I just want to point this particular importance out. We cover our heads. As you see, I have my head covered. We pray or prophesy. I'm not saying I'm prophesying right now or anything, but there are reasons why we cover our head according to what scripture says. And when a woman pray or prophesy, she should have her head covered. If not, I want to read the scripture, so I want to read it for myself, so that way you can see what it says. Now, in other translations, in King James Version and other translations, literations, it'll say just about the same thing. It might not have the exact same words, but it has the same meaning, and it means the same thing. Okay. Now, there's something else going on in the Cepher. I'm going to read the Cepher book that has the Lost Books, the Apocrypha, the Book of Enoch, and other stuff. I'm going to read out of my daughter's scripture book from the scriptures. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, and I'm going to read down through 6, so you can hear for yourself the problem that I see. If I am missing anything, miscomprehending anything, please, I'm asking. I can say something if I am. But I want to point this out because I don't want to be misled, and I don't want to have a second thought of what, the word really is saying, have been saying, and also what the revelation the Most High Yah gives to us based on scripture, and then we see something else in a different book, okay, that says something else. So here it is. So I'm reading from my daughter's the scriptures, large print. Here's 1 Corinthians. Trying to zoom in, it's like very fuzzy. I don't know why. So anyway, 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Become imitators of me, as I also am of Messiah. And I praise you, brothers, that you remember me in every way and keep the traditions as I delivered them to you. And I wish and I pray you to know that the head of every man is the Messiah, and the head of woman is the man, and the head of Messiah is Elohim. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, brings shame to his head. And every woman praying or prophesying with her head uncovered brings shame to her head. For that is one and the same, as if her head were shaved. For if a woman is not covered, let her also be shorn. I'll read that again. For if a woman. I'll go back to verse 5. And every woman praying or prophesying with her head uncovered brings shame to her head. For that is one and the same, as if her head were shaved. Verse 6. For if a woman is not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it is a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaved, let her be covered. Okay, I'm going to read 7. For a man indeed should not cover his head, since he is the likeness and esteem of Elohim, but woman is the esteem of man. For man is not from woman, but woman from man. For man also was not created for the woman, but woman for man. Okay? Because of this, the woman ought to have authority on her head because of the messengers. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to read from the Cepher. Okay, so this is the Cepher, and I'm at 1 Corinthians, Rishon, chapter 11, starting from verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Mashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Yahuwah. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head. They got that part right. Not every woman who prays or prophesies. Not every woman who prays or prophesies with an uncovered head disgraces the head itself, but it is a disgrace for those who are shaven. For if the woman is sheared, yet wholly covered, such women are not obscene when wholly covered. Obscene is in here. It says the woman is not obscene, but in the obscene means disgrace. It means filthiness, something that's dishonorable, something that's not approved of. But the other scriptures, transliteration says something else, that the woman is a disgrace. If it disgraces, then let her have her hair shorn. If she don't have her head covered, it'll be as if her head is shorn. So this one says, for if the woman is sheared, yet wholly covered, such women are not obscene when wholly covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head. See, now it goes back to this, saying the correct way of the man. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and esteem of Elohim. But the woman, it is the esteem of man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause let's see if I can get to the next page without... Oh, wow. Okay, for this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels or messengers. So I want to go over this because this is of the scriptures and this is of the Cepher. Now if we go to King James Version. Okay, so I'm on the computer. I want to show you some other transliterations. I'm at Bible Hub. I can go to Blue Letter as well. It'll be the same. But I just want to show you in 1 Corinthians verse 6. I'll go back verse 5 just so I can read it and you can see. My computer's a bit slow. Okay, 11 verse 5. I'm going to go to that really quick. And I want to read what it says because I want you to see, and then go to verse 6 so that way you can see what I'm pointing to. And then you can decipher for yourself what this means. Is this misleading, or am I miscomprehending something, or what? So, yeah. So I want you to check it out for yourself and discern and rightly divide the word. Okay, so now I'm up here, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 5. But every woman, let me see, where am I? But every woman who has her head uncovered, let me scroll down a bit, uncovered while praying or prophesying disgraces her head, for she is one, my computer a little slow, for she is one and the same as the woman whose head is shaved. Yeah, they don't like that. So I'm going to go to the transliterations of the others versions to see what they say also. Okay, so now I'm at some of the transliterations. You might not be able to see it that well, but I'm just going to read it anyway. So, I don't know how to do it. Okay, so, but every woman who has her head uncovered while praying or prophesying disgraces her head, for she is one and the same as the woman whose head is shaved. This is the New American Standard Bible. King James Bible says, but every woman that praying or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, for that is even all as one if she were shaven. Okay, that's King James Version. We got Holman Christian Standard Bible. But every woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head, since that is one and the same as having her head shaved. Okay, continuing where I left off. The International Standard Version, ISV. And every woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head, which is the same as having her head shaved. Then we got the NET. But any woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered disgraces her head, for it is one and the same thing as having her shaved head, having a shaved head. The Aramaic Bible in plain English. And every woman praying or prophesying while revealing her head disgraces her head, for she is equal with her whose head is shaven. When we look at the Cepher and also what I said in my daughter's book, the scriptures, when we look at that, it's saying something different. Now, I'm going to read it one more time in the Cepher. The scriptures of my daughter's book says same thing and the same meaning as all these other transliterations. Which one is correct? This is, am I miscomprehending something? Or or is something changed in here? And if it is, what is going on? So I'm going to go ahead and read this one more time of the Cepher before my camera cuts off, possibly. Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, start from verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I am of Mashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Yahuwah. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head. Not every woman who prays. See, it says not every woman who prays. When I look at these up here, I'll just go to King James. It says, but every woman that prayeth or prophesying with her head uncovered dishonors her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. Now it says in King James Version, but every woman that prayeth prophesied with her hair uncovered dishonors her head. But then you read this. It says, not every woman. See, it says, but every woman everywhere else, all the other transliterations. But here it says, not every woman who prays or prophesies with an uncovered head disgraces the head itself, but it is a disgrace for those who are shaven. For if the woman is sheared, yet wholly covered, such women are not obscene when wholly covered. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, if I have an extra minute, to share with you the meaning of obscene. Okay, before I do that, I forgot, I did not go to verse 6 in the parallel verses. So I'm going to read that really quick, okay? It says, for in the New American Standard Bible, for if a woman does not cover her head, let her also have her hair cut off. But if it is disgraceful for a woman to have her hair cut off or her head shaved, let her cover her head. King James Version says, and you can Google this yourself in Blue Letter, or you can go to Bible Hub and look at the parallel verses. You can Google this, or just look it up with whatever you have. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. Okay, the Holman Christian Standard Bible. So if a woman's head is not covered, her hair should be cut off. But if it is disgraceful for a woman to have her hair cut off or her head shaved, she should be covered. Okay. So then we go to the International Standard Version. So if a woman does not cover her head, she should cut off her hair. If it is a disgrace for a woman to cut off her hair or shave her head, let her cover her own head. Okay? For if a woman will not cover her head, she should cut off her hair. But if it is disgraceful for a woman to have her hair cut off her head, shaved, she should cover her head. Okay? And then that's the, I just read the NET Bible. I'm reading the Aramaic Bible in plain English. For if a woman is not covered, she should also be sheared. But if it is a disgrace for a woman to be sheared or shaven, let her be covered. Okay? Remember it says, for if a woman is not covered, she should also be sheared. But if it is disgrace, okay? God's word translation. So if a woman doesn't cover her head, she should cut off her hair. If it is disgrace for a woman to cut off her hair or shave her head, she should cover her head. And then the last one, the King James 2000 Bible. For if the woman is not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it is a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. Okay? Now, I'm going to look up really quick of what obscene means. The word obscene. And I want to read it from a regular definition. Okay, it says obscene definition. Of the portrayal or description of sexual matters, offensive or disgusting by accepted standards of morality and decency. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and Google the concordance of obscene in Greek. Okay, I did look up this once. They have different ones, but then you got to know which one it goes with, right? According to scripture. So they got this one, astrologia, whatever that is, abusive language. It wouldn't be that because it wouldn't be talking about low and obscene speech. So it wouldn't be based on abusive language. But yet, this one most likely fit the script because it's baseness. And I'm going to click on that so that way you can see for yourself. Or the word, yeah, it's right there as well in the Blue Letter. So you got Bible Hub and Blue Letter, got the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the Blue Letter. Okay, so here it is in the Blue Letter. It's the same as Bible Hub. So we go to the meaning of the word. Where is it? Translation. Okay, obscenity, filthiness. Okay, filthiness. And it's saying from Greek 150, shamefulness, i.e. obscenity, filthiness. All right. Baseness. Where is it? Oh, baseness, dishonor. Ephesians 5, verse 4. Filthiness. Okay? So that's what that means. All right? Now, I just wanted to point that out. That's all I'm really doing, just pointing it out. I'm not here to teach anyone anything at the time or anything like that. I'm speaking on this because of the fact that I was going over scriptures, reading to my daughters last night, and we was looking over some things together. She asked me questions, and then I have questions, and I'm reading from her book. It says one thing, and my book says another, and then I'm questioning these things. So when we get these new transliterations with the new names and stuff, not new names, but the restored names and stuff like that in there, don't get so hyped up about that and be like, oh, look, it has all the, got the lost books in there, got the book of Enoch, the Apocrypha all together, and it got the names we can call on instead of calling on the pagan names, stuff like that. The scripture book actually says more of have least of the pagan words in there than the Cepher. The Cepher still says holy, and some other pagan names in here uses still. Words that it still uses. But just saying that, I got it because it has all the lost books and stuff in here. Well, majority of the things that we try to get individually. And I thought it would be good for having the name in here as well and all. But then when I read the scripture, I'm like spending all this money buying it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, really? This one. And I'm like, and then I'm assuming it could be more in here. So I have a lot more to read and study up on. I'm not just going on just about one script, but at this time I am, because of the fact it does make a big deal. And it can be misleading to many who probably just coming into the truth, coming to knowing the truth of the word and what we should be doing, and get the Cepher. And it could be their first and only besides King James. And then they're like just gaining wisdom and then reading something that can lead them astray. And they see us with head covering, but then read about what it says differently about the other, about covering your head and what the word is really meaning, and stuff like that, and how it's representing us covering our heads, stuff like that. What is shameful and what's disgraceful, what is not, what's dishonorable. We need to look at that. And it can cause more division. But we don't need more division amongst each other just because of different books that we have and different wording that we have and meanings that we have from the book telling us what says what and what it means. But the main thing, we need to rely on the Ruach. That's what we need to do. The Ruach can reveal things. The Ruach been revealing things to us even before we even comprehended that whatever he reveals to us is actually in the word, and that happens to a lot of us, and then we get confirmation out of the word. But we want to make sure that what book we have and what we're getting, where we're getting our information from, is accurate. It's okay, I believe that it is, to look at different transliterations to see how different they are, and also to we have to rightly divide the word, and we have to make sure that, according to references that we have, because every scripture has reference to everything, okay? And the so-called New Covenant part of the book confirms the so-called old part. Whatever that it says is referring to the old, always, the ancient time. And we need to make sure that it lines up. If it doesn't, something is up with the transliteration. It's not always you, but you want to make sure that you're not just receiving a different spirit by reading if you're coming across a different transliteration of the word. Do not receive a different spirit, okay? Allow the Most High Yah, discern and allow the Most High Yah to reveal these things to you. Pray to him and ask for comprehension, We don't want to have a comprehension of what somebody else put down and then we go with that, okay? And then we stand firm on, what's in the book, it says this and that. And it may not, we got to remember that these books are not written by our own people, okay? These books are written by other nations and stuff like that, especially the Jewish, who's in control of majority of what goes on in the world. So therefore, we, in the Rome, so we need to make sure that we rightly divide, and we make sure that we read and study and compare and ask the Most High Yah for confirmation and truth, okay? And when truth is revealed to you, and if you do have to get rid of your book, what is deceiving, too much deception and other things going on, if you have to, get rid of the book. That's what you have to do. That's what I did. I had stacks of different versions, and I got rid of them. Didn't know any better. But when I started learning more better, I didn't know what to go with, and I just started eliminating. I had to keep a book around, though, until I got a new one, but I had to eliminate. So you don't want to You know, these are things that we have to, and they're mostly corrupted. Get one that's most accurate as possible, but like I said, all of them are corrupted some kind of way. Okay, so none of them are perfect. None of them are going to be. But if it's causing division between you and those who are your brothers and sisters because of a bad transliterated book, you may want to reconsider. So I'm just letting you know. Now, I'm not saying the Cepher is bad. I just got it, and I've been reading it, and you know, I'm not telling you what book to go by at all. You know, so far I do like it, but in Genesis, when you first read it, I ain't gonna lie, it did put me in the mind of Trinity, because I don't go with the Trinity thing in the very beginning when it, the way that it puts everything in the very beginning of creation. Let me see if I can go to it really quick before my computer, my camera goes off. Where is it? Genesis chapter 1. It says, in the beginning Elohim created at the heavens and at the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. And Elohim said, let there be light. And there was light. And Elohim saw it, the light, that it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day. And the darkness he called night. And the evening and morning was the first day. Now, it does say Elohim, right? But then it says Ruach Elohim. Now, first thing first, that most people who probably come from Trinity thing, come out of Trinity thing and read something like this, and then they might like throw it out or put it down or whatever. But I'm not reading that because this reminds me of the Trinity, you know, or is this confirming Trinity, you know, and pull people back in. Well, we do know that the Ruach is of Elohim. We do know that. It comes from him, it's of him, and his Ruach moves forward and make things happen, you know, the manifesting. So we do know that, and we just have to have discernment and to comprehend, and the wisdom of the Most High to comprehend what the word is really saying when it says what it says. But the way things are transliterated and the way things are worded can throw some people off. That's why we need the Ruach. We need to make sure that we communicate with the Ruach, and we allow the Ruach to communicate with the Most High, allow the Ruach to direct us and show us and reveal to us what the word, what really happened and what it really is. So let's be careful. And yeah, that's all I really want to say. I know I said a mouthful because the video is lengthy that I've just made. Please feel free to make comment below or whatever. No offensive comments or nothing like that. I'm not here to go against the scriptures at all or anything. I have the Bible. I'm looking at the scriptures. I'm reading it still. But just pointing this out, okay? And if anybody know anything, let me know. If there's something wrong with the Cepher, worse than any other, or just as bad as any other, please let me know. But other than that, no, I'm reading it so far. Okay, shalom.